Typically, a flowering plant has two parts, one below the ground and one above the ground. The part that is below the ground is called the root system, and the part that is above the ground, that is the stem, its branches, leaves, flowers and fruit, it is called shoot system. Students, now let's discuss about the roots. The roots of all the plants, they have same function but they differ structurally. It means on the basis of the structure, the roots are different of different plants, and they are classified into two categories, one taproot and other fibrous root. Taproot. Taproots are broad near the base of the stem and they are pointed towards the tip, or to the tip we call apex also. Many branches and sub-branches come out from the main root and spread into the soil, like we have seen in mustard, sunflower, cabbage, rose and many other plants. Now comes the fibrous root. Fibrous roots. These roots are in cluster. They cluster of fine roots. It means they do not have a main root. These roots are called fibrous roots and they do not go much down in deep as the taproot they do. Examples of such kind of roots are rice, wheat, bamboo, etc. Now, the main functions of the root. What are the main functions of the roots? The main function of the root is to grow into the soil and fix the plant firmly to the ground. And secondly, they absorb water and mineral from the soil which plant uses to manufacture its food. Let's study about stems. Children, we know very well all the plants, they do not have same kind of stems. As we have seen in trees, they have thick, hard, strong stems called trunks. Now come shrubs. They have hard, woody stems that are neither as thick nor as strong as the trunks of trees are. Now comes herbs. They have soft, green stems, and the climbers, they have weak stems and cannot stand upright. They may look different. Stems have a few characteristics in common. They have joints called nodes from which leaves and the branches arise. The portions of the stem between two nodes is called internode. Stem bear buds at various locations, various points. Bud that grow at the tip or the apex of the stem, it is called terminal bud or the apical bud. And buds that grow at the junction of a leaf and the stem, such buds are called axillary buds. Now, again, buds are classified into two categories. They are vegetative and floral. Vegetative, they contain branches and leaves, and floral, they contain flowers. Now, let's study about the functions of the stems. We know very well the stem, they hold the plant upright and support the branches. Second, the stem bear leaves, buds, flowers and fruits and help to spread them out so that they can perform their functions properly. And last and very important functions that the stems they perform is the stem carries water and minerals which they get from the root, and they pass this to the leaves and distribute food to all the parts of the plant. Okay children, now let's study about the leaf. Leaf, we know it is a flat green outgrowth of a stem. It grows from node and bears buds in its axil. Axil means the point which is attached to the stem. The flight the wide, flat, green portion of the leaf. It is called lamina. And as you can see in the picture, the line which is going through the center of the leaf, it is called midrib, and the point which is attached to the stem, it is called petiole. And we have given veins also, shown veins, the lines, parallel lines and the network lines which are shown in the diagrams, they are the veins. And the margin given, margin is the gap between the two veins. Understood? So see the diagram very carefully. Now comes the venations. What is venations? The arrangement of veins on leaf is called venations. There are two types of venations. What are these two types? They are reticulate and other is parallel. A leaf is said to be reticulate venation when the veins spread out in all the directions, like the network. Everywhere you will find the veins. And in the leaves, like we have shown you the banana leaf, the veins, they run parallel to each other. And like in banana, we have this kind of venation in rice, bamboo and grass also. And reticulate venation you can see in the leaves of banyan tree, China rose, mango and guava. Now, there are two types of leaves. One is simple leaf and other is compound leaf. Now, what is simple leaf? Simple leaf has a single blade. A blade may be entire or cut to by the depth and not down to the midrib. As we can see in the leaf of people. And in compound leaf, the leaf blade is cut to the midrib or to the petiole so that the leaf is broken up into a number of segments called leaflet, as you can see in the leaf of roses. Now let's study about the arrangements of the leaves. As we can see, leaves are arranged differently in different plants. The arrangement of leaf is called alternate when only one leaf grows from each node. Node we have shown you, from where the leaf comes from the branch. Okay. And when two leaves grow from each node and are arranged opposite to each other, this kind of arrangement is called opposite. And this kind of arrangement we can see in guava, basils, etc. Now we have one more kind of leaf arrangement which is called whorl. And this, what is this kind? It is a circular arrangement kind of leaves where the leaves are arranged in a circular manner. Now students, let's study about the function of the leaf. Children, we very well know the most important function of a leaf is to manufacture food. The leaf possesses a green pigment which is called chlorophyll, which helps it to use the energy of sunlight to make food from water and carbon dioxide. The process by which carbon dioxide and water combine to produce glucose and oxygen is a chemical reaction called photosynthesis. Plant uses glucose as food and the leftover glucose is stored in stems, roots, seeds and fruits as starch and sugar, which is absorbed by later by human and other organisms. The oxygen produced during photosynthesis is used by all the organisms including plants for respiration. Now what is the another function of the leaf? Plants take in oxygen for respiration and carbon dioxide for photosynthesis through the tiny pores present on the leaves called stomata. Third, the stomata also releases water vapor into the air. And what we call this process? We call this process of giving out water in the form of vapor transpiration.